Hey everyone, we're back for another workout of the day. Today is an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible in 20 minutes. It is called beasting. It is 5 slam ball burpees, 10 deadlifts, 15 V-ups, and 20 curl squats. So we're going to go through all of those movements and the modifications, and then you can get started. All right, so the first movement is our slam ball burpee. So we're going to combine our slam ball with a burpee. Move these out of the way. Okay, so if you have a slam ball, awesome. If not, we can go over some different things that you can do instead. Okay, so let's just go over the slam ball first. When we go to do our slam ball, we want to come down. We want to keep our chest up. We're meeting the ball, so we're going to come down in the squat. We're going to come down and grab it with 2 hands, and then we're going to push it all the way overhead so that my arms are straight, and then I'm going to come down. So I'm not slamming it from the top. I'm bringing it down and slamming it about halfway down. We want to make sure that we're picking the ball up again with a nice upright chest. We're coming up all the way. We're coming down and slamming the ball. So as I'm coming down, I'm going into that squat, still making sure that my back is straight, my core is tight as I do this. I see a lot of people pick up the ball and slam it from the top. The problem mainly with that is now if you do this, like look where my back is, it's rounded, it's down. So now the support of this weight that I have, right, is now dependent on my shoulders and upper back and my arms. And that's going to create this tension and possible injury. So we don't want to do that. So we want good form while we do this. So again, we're picking up the slam ball, come up and come down with the slam ball. So now we're going to combine the burpee, but let's just go over the burpee movement first. So the burpee, remember, we kick out, we come down, push up, and come back up. So how do we combine the two? What we do is we're going to, again, pick up our slam ball all the way overhead, come down, and as we come down, we're going to then kick out, and you can do the push-up on the ball, next to the ball, besides the ball, or okay, so then come up and then come back into the, so again, fast. I have a hole in the ball from Maggie. So that's how we want a continual movement. So we're going to use, again, this movement, come down, and then go ahead and kick out. If you can't do a full burpee on or next to the ball, when you have the hands on top, you're not coming down all the way in that push-up. So that's one modification. Or you can just skip the push-up. You can either kick out on top of the ball and come back up, or on the side of the ball and come back up. But we want to make sure that when we come up, we're grabbing that ball, and when we come down with the ball, we're starting to think about that movement, right? So if you don't have a slam ball, if you aren't ready for a slam ball, that's okay. You can either just do a burpee. You could do 5 burpees. You can also use a bench, kick out on the bench, but you make sure that when you do that, you come all the way, stand all the way up. Don't just kick your feet back and forth. You can also do a slam ball on the bench, so you don't have to come down as far. So grabbing that slam ball, keeping that chest up all the way, and then go ahead and kick out or do the push-up on the bench. Okay. The next movement is our deadlift. So we're going to go over it with a barbell first and then the modification. So if you have a barbell, we are going to make sure that you become one with the barbell, right? We want to stay close and touching that barbell the whole time. Very intimate with the barbell. So we're going to set up about hip width apart. You can go slightly wider for a deadlift. Some people do kind of like a sumo deadlift that's wide and pointed outwards. But for this, we're just going to focus on a regular deadlift. So we can grab the barbell with two opposite grips. So we're going to have one grip facing us and one grip facing out. This is going to keep the barbell steady where we want it to go without worrying about slipping out of our hands or trying to, control it. This will keep it nice and controlled. We're going to step up to the barbell so that our shins are going to be touching the barbell. Now, as we set up at the barbell, our butt is always going to be above our knee. So if your butt is, the same height as your knee or lower, then adjust yourself. So we're going to come down. We're going to keep our chest up. Now we want our core tight as well. And we want to really bring our shoulders together. So we're squeezing our shoulders, keeping our shoulders nice and tight, our core tight. And we're going to get that grip with the opposite one in, one out. We're going to pull our knees back. So what I mean by that, a lot of people start like this over the barbell. So the barbell's here and your knees are over top of them. The thing I don't like about that is then you have to worry about pulling your knees back or getting over your knees with the barbell. So how to really keep that barbell a nice straight up and down movement is when we set up, we're going to pull our knees back. So see how my shins are in a nice straight line. So as I'm bringing the barbell, sliding the barbell up my shins, I don't have to do anything with my knees or my arms. And then I'm just bringing them back as I pull up. So again, straight line all the way up. So this is what it looks like from the front view. Mixed grip here. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades. Everything's nice and tight. And I'm going to stand all the way up, come back down. And again, the barbell is touching me the whole time. Side view here. Shoulders back, come down. And we want to make sure our back is nice and straight. Now, the other thing, when you finish that movement, so you're up at the top, what we don't want is the lean back. So when we lean back, guess where all the weight is being shifted to? Right here in that lower back. This is where people get themselves injured with deadlifts. Deadlift is a very safe movement if you do it right, just like all of the movements. But just think of it this way. If you're building Legos and blocks, right, you put one on top of the other. But if you start to put them kind of diagonal or this and that, it's not going to be able to support enough everything and it's going to fall apart. So we want, our feet to be nice and flat. We want our legs to be nice and even with our hips and our spine and our shoulders. This is creating a nice even stack of bones and muscle to support the weight. Once we start doing this or this, then you're not having that good built up support. Okay, so modifications, you can use a kettlebell and just do the same thing, keeping that back nice and straight. You can use a band. So we can do the band a few ways. Depending on the thickness of the band is going to be the resistance. So you can, so you kind of wrap the band around your feet and pull it up in the middle and stand up. You can double that as well. And again, the thickness of the band is going to indicate like how much resistance you have. So pick a band that suits you. Next movement is our V up. So we are bringing our arms up overhead and our feet are going to come up at the same time, squeezing those abs. We want the whole back to come off the ground. See how I'm fully at the top? The only thing touching is my butt. Modifications to the knee. You can do leg raises, shoulders off the ground, or you can do sit-ups to the knees. But we really want to focus on that ab movement there. Okay, the next and last movement is our squat curl. So again, we're combining two movements here. We want a good squat position with a curl. So let's go over the squat real quick. Again, core nice and tight, chest nice and upright. We're going to be about hip width apart with our legs. Our feet are going to be slightly pointed outward. This is going to allow our feet to stay flat on the ground, and our knees are going to follow our toes, and this allows us to have a nice straight up and down movement. When we're completely forward, we start to rock back and forth. And again, with that, we're going to go back to what I was saying, the building blocks. That's pushing weight different ways. So if we do slightly outward and our knees are coming out instead of forward, we're able to have that nice up and down movement, keeping our feet flat on the ground. So with that, we're going to combine a curl. So you can either do two ways. You can do with a hammer curl, which I like because it kind of doesn't get really much in the way, or you can do the regular curl. So gonna grab two dumbbells, make sure you're squeezing those shoulder blades back. You've got to make sure that you are nice and tight in the core, and as you come down, you're going to do that curl. You're going to try not to swing. It's going to swing a little bit because of the movement, but we really want to make sure that we're using those biceps to do the curl. And again, and we want to come down about parallel to the ground. So this part of our leg is parallel to the ground. We can also use a band. So you probably will have to do one at a time. So there's 20, so you can do 10 on each side. So you're going to come down into that. You're actually going to have to curl first and then come down, curl first, then come down and then switch hands. So you can do lighter dumbbells. If you can't do dumbbells, just do the motion with your hands curling up as you go. You can also squat to a bench. So if you squat to a bench, we want our feet to always stay flat on the ground and come back up. Our knees are still coming out. We don't want to be leaning onto our knees here. We want to stay upright and make sure we're just using our legs, standing all the way up at the top, locking those hips out. Same thing with the regular squats. You can also add the curls to this. Staying upright as you do it. Now, if you feel that you're on this bench and you're like, oh, I need that extra help, make sure you use the bench for the extra help and not your limbs, so you're not going out of whack or pushing pressure onto knees and hips that you don't need to be doing. So that is all the movements. You're just going to keep going through that for 20 minutes. Mark down your weights, mark down your rounds, mark down your movements, revisit, check your progress. Remember, visit us at www.macromachinecoaching.com. This is where you'll find a plethora of nutrition and health programs. You'll also find our supplement store. If you scroll down, there's a link to the supplement store where we have nice, clean products to support your health and nutrition and your fitness. So make sure you visit that as well. Book a one-on-one consultation, see what programs are right for you and what coach is right for you. So I will see you next time. Good luck.